Norman Rockwell's Girl at Mirror was initially created to be used on the cover of the March 6, 1954 Saturday Evening Post. And even though it is old in its publication, it is timeless in its content. It is a painting that depicts a young girl grasping a magazine with Hollywood's Jane Russell doing what she does best, being a seductive and attractive actress. This little girl is staring at herself in the mirror with her hands up to her face, trying to copy the pose that the actress is doing in the magazine. Upon first impression, this realistic painting gives off the atmosphere of attempting perfectionism. Looking at the composition and the rule of thirds, there is no focal point in this painting. The girl's physical body and the reflection in the mirror share center. Rockwell also uses iconography within this painting. You have the girl's doll, which is always synonymous with childhood. Dolls are icons of little girl's childhood. But the doll is abandoned by a mirror. And then you have this girl using makeup, which is also an icon and a symbol of transitioning into adulthood. Lots of girls, once they start transitioning into becoming a woman, they start using makeup and presenting themselves in more mature ways. And then, as previously stated, we also have Jane Russell, a sex symbol in Hollywood through the 1940s and 50s. A brunette woman who is still called sexy in a movie that implies that gentlemen prefer blondes. And the themes presented in this painting shows a universal feeling that many young girls struggle with. The theme is the transition into womanhood. Many young girls see media constantly presenting women as sex objects that we should strive to be, as opposed to mothers or employers or people. This constant pressure and societal demands for girls to become women lead girls to go into that transition far too soon and inorganically. This is seen in the painting because on one end, in the end with her physical body, we look at her from the back. We see her hair done up in a mature way, and we see her wearing her undergarment, and we see the makeup and the magazine, and we'd be led to believe that it is a woman in this painting. But then we look in the mirror, and we see her reflection looking back at her, partnered with her doll, and it reminds the viewer that she is still, in fact, a child. This entire painting is composed as if she is viewing herself in a museum, and that the mirror is her painting, and that she is the artist. She has all these tools to make the painting better. In this case, her acrylics and her oil paints are her makeup, her mascara, and her lipstick. But correcting this painting is not as easy as we're led to believe. It's not adding an extra layer of acrylics. It's trying to keep up with societal trends and demands of what makes a woman a woman. This painting gives off a universal feeling that most females experience while going into adulthood. No matter what age you are or what decade you were a child, we all have this universal feeling of waiting in line for checkout at the grocery store or being at the drugstore and seeing these magazines with gorgeous Hollywood actresses on it. And they are titled, Her Secrets. How does she look so gorgeous? What does she do? And as young women, we are forced to digest this. Society doesn't make it optional. It's always in our face. So, it's still like that in this painting. Even though it's in 1950s, we see her digesting that content of what makes a woman a woman. In conclusion, Rockwell's painting is this large metaphor of the pressures that society puts around girls to become women and how hurried it can be. Using a literal mirror, he holds up a metaphorical mirror to society, making the audience feel alienated. This is a young girl, not a famous movie star, not a 20-year-old, a young girl trying to be sexy, trying to be attractive and seductive. Shouldn't she be playing with the doll that is staring back at her? Or should she start using this makeup and become a woman? It makes the audience question what a true woman is and how we present ourselves in society. Is a woman a hot, attractive actress on our screens, or is she our mothers, our employers, our colleagues, our friends? And this painting really just makes us wonder, what makes a woman?